Imagine a man, not large in stature, yet possessing a presence that fills any room he enters. His energy is almost tangible, electrifying the air and drawing every eye toward him, as if he's surrounded by an invisible force. In a blink, he moves, his fist a blur, sending a much larger man flying, defying expectations with every strike. This was my father, Bruce Lee, renowned not just for his speed and power but for the way he redefined what a martial artist could be. People wondered, was it simply ancient Chinese martial arts that made him so formidable? The truth, as always, is much deeper and more complex. A key part of his secret was his fascination with Western boxing, a sport he studied with the same intensity he brought to everything. He never limited himself to one style. Fighting was a puzzle, and he wanted every piece, every advantage, every lesson from every discipline. Boxers had footwork, power, and smart defense, qualities Bruce admired and sought to master for himself. He watched, he analyzed, and he learned, determined to uncover the secrets behind their success in the ring. He studied the best fighters, legends like Muhammad Ali and Jack Dempsey, absorbing their strengths, their strategies, and their mindset. For him, boxing wasn't just about learning new moves, it was about embracing a philosophy of practicality, efficiency, and adaptability. He often said, absorb what is useful, discard what is useless, and add what is specifically your own. These words became the foundation of his approach. Boxing's direct punches, agile footwork, and tough training methods became essential tools in his arsenal, shaping his unique fighting style. He saw boxing not as a rival, but as a partner in his quest to become a complete fighter, always open to learning from others. His open-mindedness broke down barriers between fighting styles, inspiring others to look beyond tradition and embrace innovation. He proved that the best fighter is a student of all systems, not a master of just one, and that true mastery comes from constant growth. His journey into boxing is key to understanding him, not just as a martial artist but as a thinker, a seeker, and a pioneer. Bruce Lee's legacy is about seeking truth, wherever it's found, and having the courage to follow it, even when it leads away from the familiar. He showed the world that greatness comes from learning, adapting, and blending, never settling, always evolving. The story of his connection to boxing is a window into his relentless spirit, his hunger for knowledge, and his refusal to accept limits. It's what made him truly unique, and why his influence endures to this day. Bruce Lee's journey into boxing began as a teenager in the bustling streets of Hong Kong, a city alive with energy and competition. Even as a young man, Bruce was restless, always searching for new ways to challenge himself and push his limits. While training Wing Chun under the legendary IP Man, Bruce was captivated by the discipline and precision of Chinese martial arts. But he was also drawn to the raw intensity and unpredictability of Western boxing, which was gaining popularity in Hong Kong at the time. Eager to test his skills in a different arena, Bruce joined a local boxing gym. The atmosphere was gritty and competitive, filled with the sounds of gloves hitting bags and trainers shouting advice. There he started from scratch, learning the fundamentals: stance, jab, cross, hook, and head movement. Every session was a lesson in humility and growth. Boxing was fluid and unpredictable, a new challenge he embraced wholeheartedly. The sport demanded quick reflexes, sharp thinking, and the ability to adapt in the heat of the moment. Bruce practiced relentlessly, sparring with older, more experienced fighters and spending hours hitting the heavy bags. He was determined to master every aspect of the sport. In 1958, Bruce entered the prestigious Hong Kong Schools Boxing Tournament, a proving ground for the city's best young fighters. Though not the biggest contender, Bruce was lightning fast and incredibly smart in the ring, blending his boxing skills with the techniques he'd learned from Wing Chun. He advanced through the rounds, eventually reaching the finals to face the reigning champion, Gary Elms, a formidable opponent with a reputation for power. In a dramatic showdown, Bruce won by knockout, stunning the crowd and proving that his hybrid approach could triumph over tradition. This victory gave him newfound confidence and validated his belief in combining different styles to create something greater. It was the seed for what would eventually become Jeet Kune Do, Bruce's own revolutionary martial arts philosophy. His early boxing experience laid the foundation for his lifelong quest to break boundaries and redefine what martial arts could be. It showed him that effectiveness and adaptability mattered far more than simply following tradition for its own sake. Bruce's time in the ring was more than just a chapter in his life. It was the beginning of a new way of thinking about combat and self-improvement. He learned to adapt, evolve, and always seek improvement, never settling for what he already knew. That relentless spirit of growth and innovation would go on to define Bruce Lee's entire life and legacy. Bruce Lee valued what worked in real combat: simplicity, directness, and efficiency. Boxing embodied these principles, stripping away the unnecessary and focusing only on what truly mattered in a fight. For Bruce, it wasn't about tradition or style. It was about results. The jab, a straight, fast line to the target. No wasted motion, no flourish, just pure effectiveness. It was a tool that could control distance, disrupt rhythm, and set up every other attack. Every movement in boxing had a purpose: attack, defend, create openings. Nothing was random. Each action was calculated, designed to maximize efficiency and minimize risk. He studied the science behind a boxer's punch, learning to generate power from the ground up. The secret wasn't just in the arms, but in the hips, the legs, the entire body working as one. Footwork fascinated him. Control the distance, control the fight. The ability to move in and out, to evade and attack, was the mark of a true fighter. Boxers moved constantly, using angles and rhythm to stay safe and strike. Their movement was never static, always adapting, always searching for the next opportunity. Bruce saw that many traditional martial arts lacked this dynamic footwork. Boxing filled that gap, offering a living example of adaptability and real-world application. He admired boxing's constant evolution. Only effective techniques survived. The ring was a proving ground where theory met reality and only the best ideas endured. For Bruce, boxing was a living laboratory, always tested in the ring. Every round was an experiment, every match a lesson in what worked and what didn't. It matched his belief, using no way as way. He saw freedom in boxing's approach, a willingness to adapt and evolve. He refused to be trapped by rigid systems. For Bruce, the mind had to be as flexible as the body. Boxing's practicality and adaptability became core to his own art. He took what was useful, discarded what was not, and made it his own. He absorbed its lessons, blending them into Jeet Kune Do. The result was a martial art that was alive, responsive, and always growing. For Bruce, boxing was more than a sport. It was a path to true fighting power. It was a way to test himself, to break boundaries, and to seek the truth in combat. It was proof that the best ideas come from everywhere, and that true mastery means learning from every source, always staying open, and never settling for less than what works. Bruce Lee was a student of the best, spending hours studying legendary boxers. He watched fights like a scientist, analyzing every move and strategy. Muhammad Ali was his greatest inspiration. Ali's footwork, speed, and artistry amazed him. Bruce mimicked Ali's movements, learning to flow from defense to attack. He admired Ali's ability to create angles and stay elusive. Bruce also studied Joe Louis's explosive, short-range power, and Kid Gavilan's unpredictable punches. He hosted film nights, breaking down fights frame by frame for his students. These were study sessions, not just entertainment. He wanted his students to see boxing as a deep, sophisticated art. By learning from the masters, Bruce gathered the best techniques for Jeet Kune Do. He saw boxing as a treasure trove of practical skills. His relentless study of the greats shaped his own fighting style. It was this curiosity that made him a legend. To fight like a boxer, Bruce Lee trained like one. Technique wasn't enough. He needed elite conditioning. His workouts were intense, blending martial arts discipline with boxing's physical demands. He aimed for a body that was strong, fast, and explosive. Punching drills were central, hundreds of punches daily, perfecting speed and power. Heavy bag work built full-body strength. Padded boards toughened his knuckles and wrists. Shadowboxing was his meditation, practicing footwork, defense, and combinations. He integrated movements from boxers like Ali, slipping, weaving, and countering. Weights built functional strength, not bulk. Wrist weights increased speed and endurance. Core and grip exercises made every punch count. Every workout had a purpose: to create a lean, devastating fighter. Bruce's training fused East and West, making him a complete athlete. His body became the perfect weapon. Bruce Lee's one-inch punch left crowds in awe. It looked like magic, but it was a blend of Wing Chun's explosive power and boxing's body mechanics. The secret wasn't arm strength, it was a chain reaction from the ground up, hips to knuckles. Like a boxer's short hook, power came from quick, coordinated movement. Bruce saw the connection between Wing Chun's and a boxer's snap. The one-inch punch symbolized his philosophy: blend the best from every style. He understood that generating power is universal. Call it or body mechanics, the goal is the same. The punch was proof that his method of blending styles worked. It was more than a trick, it was a statement. Bruce's genius was seeing the unity in different arts. He took ancient wisdom and modern science, making them one. That's what set him apart. Boxing's influence shaped every part of Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do. His footwork was a hybrid, Ali's bounce mixed with Wing Chun's shuffle. This made him incredibly mobile, able to strike or evade in an instant. His defense borrowed from boxing, slipping, bobbing, weaving, always elusive. He preferred to avoid punches, not just block them, creating openings for counters. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, Ali's words, but Bruce's philosophy too. He taught feints, combinations, and relentless movement, classic boxing tactics. Boxing gave him a practical, proven framework for striking and strategy. It freed him from the limits of tradition. Bruce's love for boxing showed his true spirit, always learning, always evolving. By studying the legends, he became one. His legacy inspires fighters to be open-minded, practical, and true to themselves. That's the real power of Bruce Lee.